Are you looking to take your B-roll game to the next level? Well, you're in the right place. Hey, what's up friends? You're watching Fancy Pants Media, the show that is all about taking your visual marketing and media to the next level. My name is Nick. Today we are looking at B-roll and how you can improve it. It's summertime, and that means that you probably want to go outside and capture some action that is happening, whether it's with your friends, whether you're traveling, whether it's for a marketing video or some promotional materials that you're making for social media. You have to incorporate B-roll to break up the monotony of just having one static shot. So in order to do that, here are 3 tips to get you the best looking B-roll on the planet. Tip number 1 is to shoot at either 60 frames per second or 120 frames per second. Now the reason you want to shoot at higher frame rates is because you can slow down that footage and it just looks so good to the eye. If you want something a bit more precise and that's going to look great just right out the gate, in your media browser, you want to right click on the footage that's shot in high frame rates. You want to go to modify and interpret, and then there you're going to see like 3 little dials that you can click. You want to click the second one that says interpret footage to, and then you're going to type in 23.978. The reason that we are converting 60 frames per second to 23.978 frames per second is because that's a cinematic frame rate, and that slow motion is something that we grew up viewing in Hollywood movies. Tip number 2 is stabilization. Stabilization is so good to have because you don't want to have that ugly jitter in your frame. So using like a tripod or a stabilizer or a monopod is great because you can still move the camera, but it's solid and it's not going to go anywhere. If you're shooting handheld, a good tip for you is to keep your elbows attached to your hips or the core of your body at all times. And the reason you want to do this is because that allows your hands to move steadily. It just gives you a bit more weight. Also keep your knees bent and you can move from side to side. You can tilt the camera, and that's what you're seeing in this video is there's a lot of movement. My 3rd tip for you is to think about the composition of your shots. A lot of you like to add depth by opening up your aperture really wide so that there's a blurry background, and that's totally cool, but maybe you don't have that kind of feature. Maybe you're at a fixed lens that's like a 4.0 or 3.5 through 5.6 and you just can't get that kind of range. Well, I'll tell you, the best thing that you can do is think of your frame in the rule of thirds in 2 ways. One is that you can have somebody, to the right or the left of your frame, somebody in the center, and then somebody to the far other side. That's a fantastic way to compose your shots. The second way is to think about it in depth, that your foreground is something that's right here, and then you have your subject in the middle, and then you have a background that is appealing. And if you have those 3 elements, it's going to help your audience's eye move through the frame and have a little bit more to look at rather than just having something in the center that's sharp and everything else blown out. My question for you, do you have any tips or tricks that you use for your B-roll? Would you drop those in the comments below? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, would you give it a thumbs up? And if you are all about pursuing better stories in your marketing and your media, would you subscribe to this channel to get that content? And make sure to click that bell icon so you can be reminded when new content drops. My name is Nick. Until we chat again, I hope you tell the world a great story. Peace.